Hey guys, it's Keenya Kelly, business calibration consultant for KenyaKelly.com. I am an entrepreneur, I'm a speaker, I'm a teacher, and I'm a lover of Jesus. So anytime you watch me on a live broadcast or in person, you're going to hear me talk about branding, marketing, Jesus, cats, and something, right? And what I do is basically I help people to figure out who they are at their core being, build products and services around it, and build sustainable, profitable businesses and brands online. That's what I do. And I have a whole lot of fun doing it. If you're watching this broadcast and you're enjoying what I'm talking about, or you already know I'm going to talk about some serious stuff, go ahead and share this video. I'd appreciate it so much. So this Saturday morning, I am going to chat with you guys about how your brand is costing you money. Hey, Robert, I'm going to chat with you guys about how your brand is costing you money. And I don't even think you understand that it is. So again, guys, welcome. This is a Saturday edition of the Legacy Lounge, because in the Legacy Lounge, you are a living legend. And so if you are a part of my amazing Facebook group called the Legacy Lounge, go ahead and type Living Legend. And if you want to be a part of that group, all you got to do is search the group, the Legacy Lounge, and you too can be a living legend inside of our group. So I'm going to share this video really quickly. So funny. I posted a video earlier on my personal page and I just rewatched it and I said, girl, you is crazy. Do y'all ever watch your own videos? So that's what I did a couple seconds ago. I was like, girl, you're nuts. And so I appreciate my own humor. So if nobody laughs at what I have to say, I'ma laugh. Okay, so I have a good time thinking about myself. Okay, so I want to chat with you guys about, let's just talk about maybe like 3 ways or so that you are, your brand is costing you money, right? So the number one reason why your brand is costing you money is because if you are not taking the time and energy to put into your brand to make it appear as though you are valuable, when people come and look at your brand, they're going to see it as invaluable, right? Let's talk about that specifically. So I've got some people that I've worked with in the past, and when I was working with them, they were making X amount of dollars. Most of them, they were making zero, okay? Most of them, they were making zero. And I would have to ask them, why do you think that you're making $0? And they were like, well, I don't know. I've got this stuff. I've been in corporate America for 20 years. I've got this book. I've got this and I've got that, and nobody's buying. And so on our consulting calls, I would always say, well, let's take a look at your website. And a lot of them would say, I don't have a website, number one. Number two, they would say, well, oh, it's not that great. And so we would go to the website and it wouldn't be great. And I would say, let's just say the shoe was on the other foot, right? If you were going to book somebody and you were going to pay them for the book, or you were going to pay them to speak, and you went to their website or lack thereof, would you be willing to pay them $1,000 to speak? And my clients all say, no. And I say, well, why not? And you would say, because I don't know what I'm going to get myself into when I spend the money. So number one reason why your brand is costing you money is because your brand doesn't look valuable. Think about it. Your brand doesn't look valuable, okay? I'll give you a comparison. Those of you guys that drink Starbucks coffee. Now, I don't drink coffee, but once a year, I will go and get me a caramel apple spice from Starbucks, an oatmeal cookie, and a Fiji water. That's what I always get from Starbucks. It's just a natural thing that I get from Starbucks. And so let's just say another coffee shop opens up down the street. It's closer to your job or it's closer to your house, but it looks bootleg. Like, it don't even look like a coffee shop. It looks like a gas station. I want you to tell me in the comments, just type a 1, how many of you guys would not change from Starbucks? If you already know Starbucks is good, you're used to their brand, you're used to this, you're used to that, but then this new coffee shop opens up closer to you, how many of you guys would not change? Just type a 1 and tell me. I guarantee you, most of you guys would not change the coffee because you don't know what you're going to get when you buy that coffee. Same thing goes for you and your brand. Listen, Ministers, because you guys know I love me some Jesus. Hey everybody, y'all know I love Jesus. Y'all know I love talking and preaching and teaching about Jesus, right? So I work with ministers, right? And some of these ministers are getting paid to go and teach, right? Or go and paid to speak or whatever. And one of the things I express to them is that, you know, ministry is your life. It's how you make money, right? And so listen, let me tidbit. This morning, I decided to open up the doors and let the cats outside on the porch. Now, I don't know what's going on. The air done ignited something. They in here fighting. Maui's in there talking all loud. So if you guys hear anything crazy happen, it's because I let them outside for 30 seconds to 2 minutes, whatever. So it's all type of stuff going on. Maui is coming up in here now. Okay. So, minister. So I was talking with some of my clients about ministry, and I explained that the reason why you're not able to get X from a person or a group of people is because your brand is telling them that, one, they ain't got to pay that, right? Number two is telling them that they can give you, it's a lot going on. Your brand is telling them that they can give you a chicken dinner or a fruit basket. And listen, I like chicken dinners and I like fruit baskets, but none of that pays for my Sprint phone bill or for where I live, right? So guess what has to happen? If you are wanting to go from getting paid this amount of money to this amount of money, your brand has got to tell people, I am worth this amount of money. Does that make sense? If this makes sense to you, say it makes sense. I just want to know if it makes sense to you guys. And then if you guys wouldn't mind sharing the video, I'd appreciate it. You know, you have to tell people how valuable that you are. And that's not you saying out of your mouth, I'm valuable. They need to be able to go and find you and say, ooh, he or she is valuable. I'll give you an example for me personally. My graphic designer a couple years ago, Rachel, told me to try out for TEDx RVA, where it was like 2 minutes. I could pitch myself. Thank you for sharing, Robert. I could pitch myself to possibly be on stage for a TEDx presentation. So I was like, well, what would I talk about? Well, I would talk about Return of the Curls because that's what I was doing then. So I was like, what could I say to make an impact in 2 minutes, right? And so I talked about my self-esteem. I had low self-esteem when I used to relax my hair and how I felt about myself. So it was my turn. And I got up there and I did my 2-minute pitch. Within the first 60 seconds, the crowd was going crazy. And I was like, I don't understand what just happened, but they're going crazy, and this man just proposed to me, and I don't even know who he is, right? When I finished off the stage, people were going bananas. All these people rushed the stage to give me their cards. They wanted to talk to me. And I was like, I don't even know what just happened, but fine, okay. I got contacted by the Federal Reserve Bank of Richmond and said, we want you to come and talk to our employees. About what? Natural hair? That's what I was thinking. And so they said, let's meet up for coffee. So I'm like freaking out, trying to figure out what do I prepare for this meeting with them. And I'm writing down all this stuff. Oh, yay, thanks for coming to Return of the Girls. And I'm like writing out all this stuff because I'm totally freaking out. And I get to this meeting in Carytown and they come in giggling like little kids. And I'm like, what is wrong with these ladies? And I'm trying to be all professional and all that type of stuff. And I said, okay, so I came up with some topics I could possibly talk about. And they said, no, you're in. Really? They said, you're in. We want to pay you $300 to speak for 20 minutes. What? And I'm sitting there like, Hoppo, what just happened, right? And I said, well, I don't understand. Like, and I'm laughing with them at this point, like, y'all crazy, but what's going on? And they said, we found you on YouTube. Ugh. Immediately I had like the walk of shame because my YouTube channel was so bootleg. It was me in the bathroom trying to do natural hairstyles, but I don't even know how to do hair. And I just knew what they saw was pure D trash, right? But whatever happened told them that I could motivate their employees. And I said, at that moment, I realized that I was onto something. I said, them people in the audience saw something in me that I didn't see. They saw something in me on YouTube that I didn't see. Guess what I did? I said, oh, It's time to build a website. It's time to do this, and it's time to take this thing up a notch, right? If you contact me today and say, I want you to come and speak, what are your speaking topics? Immediately, you're going to receive a speaker sheet from Keenya Kelly. It has my bio, it got my picture on it, it got my social media handles, it has everything you need to know about getting Keenya Kelly, right? About getting Keenya Kelly to speak. Because I understand, listen to me, listen, if they were willing to pay me $300 to speak for 20 minutes, there is somebody that wants to pay me $10,000. There's somebody that wants to pay me $5,000. And there is somebody that wants to pay me $1,000 to speak. Because whatever came out with me in 2 minutes was a done deal, right? So guess what? Not only that, right? Not only did they see me on YouTube, but I said to myself, outside of YouTube, I have got to have more things for corporate clients. If I want Entrepreneur to come and find me, or Forbes, or whomever to come and get me, my brand has to speak for itself. Now, I'm still myself. So if you're watching this video and you're saying, I need me a speaker and I need somebody that's animated, holla at your girl, KenyaKelly.com, and you can come and request me to speak, because I love to speak and it just all comes naturally, right? And so your brand is costing you money because your brand isn't telling people what you're worth. And so you need to change up your brand. You've got to elevate your brand. Your brand has got to speak for itself. Your brand has to scream at people, I want her, I want him, I need them. If it's not screaming, it's not doing you any justice, okay? So number one, if your website and all that type of stuff is not screaming what you offer, how amazing that you are, then it's costing you money. Do you hear what I'm saying? Then it's costing you money. Not to mention, number two, your brand is costing you money because you ain't making no money from it. You may be making money just from speaking. But what else, right? It's like if you go to an event and there are, let's just say 1,000 people, and they paid you $500 to speak. Do you just want to make $500 from the event? No, they offered you a vendor table. They said you can sell from the stage. You don't have nothing to vend and you don't have no products. Your brand is costing you money because you don't have any products. You have got to create some sort of products to offer. Does that make sense? You have got to create some sort of products or services to offer outside of just speaking, right? Because here's the deal. How many of you guys have ever gone to an event and you've seen a man on stage, or you've seen a woman on stage, and you wanted more from them afterwards? You were like, oh my God, I just absolutely love them. Do they have a book? Do they have CDs? Do they have this or that? And they didn't have anything. How many of you guys have ever heard somebody speak and they had nothing to offer you afterwards? Is that anybody? Just type a 1. If you've seen somebody speak and you wanted more from them and they didn't have anything, just type a 1. Now, what happened is that person now missed out on additional money that other people were willing to pay them, right? That other people were willing to pay them. So you're missing out on money if you don't have products or services for people to buy after the fact. Does that make sense? You need to have some sort of products or services for people to buy after the fact. That may just be a one-on-one call. Let me tell y'all something. Before KenyaKelly.com ever launched, I had KenyaKelly.com, but all it was an online scheduler, right? You would go to KenyaKelly.com and immediately it would reroute you to my schedule where you could buy an hour of my time for X amount of dollars, right? That's all that it was, because I didn't have a website. Does that make sense? But now, if you go to KenyaKelly.com right now, what you can do is you can book a one-on-one call with me. You can book a 60-minute session, a 30-minute session, a free 15-minute session. You can book me to speak. You can book me for all types of things. And you can work with my branding and consulting company by clicking on branding. Holla if you hear me when you go to my website, right? But guess what? Very soon, you'll be able to buy my book. You'll be able to buy audio products. You'll be able to buy all types of stuff, because I understand that as I begin to speak more often, that guess what? When I'm on stage, people are looking me up, asking themselves, what can I do to work with her? What can I take home with me? She was great. Now, what does she have a vendor table? What can I buy from her? And the same thing goes for you. Thank you, Robert. The same thing goes for you. When you're speaking and you're teaching, people want to buy stuff from you, right? I've got a couple books that are going to happen. I got a book that's talking about how I went through divorce, not what happened, but how I overcame divorce and how you can do it too. How I was able to build 2 6-figure businesses while going through a divorce, how in the world I did that and still stayed sane, right? And then I have a book that I'm writing about how to properly quit your job. Right? Like the steps to take, like an 18-month process of quitting your job. And then a book will come out on branding. Right? Now, is all that stuff coming out right now? No, it ain't. But it will. Right? But if I speak on stage at somebody's place right now, you can book a session with me, and then you can book me again to speak, and then you can work with me through my branding company. Does that make sense? And so you don't want your brand to keep costing you money. If your brand is costing you money, stop it. Stop it and make a decision today that you are going to do what's necessary to begin to make more money from your brand. If your website, let's just keep it all the way real. How many of you guys out there got a bootleg website? Anybody? Just type a 1. Does anybody out here have a bootleg website? Thank you, Desire Diamond. I appreciate it. She said, glow up. I wish you the best. Thank you. I wish you the best as well. Does anybody have a bootleg website? Now, it's okay to be honest. Just don't type it in the comments. Listen, it's okay. We got to start somewhere. But if you want your brand to make you more money, it's time to upgrade. It is time to upgrade that website. That means you can't make the edits to it. You got to pay somebody to design it. All you speakers out there, do you have a speaker sheet? If you don't have one, it's time to get one created. Do you have an events tab on your site where people can book you to speak? If you don't, it's time to upgrade. It don't cost you a lot of money, but it will cost you some money. Does that make sense? And so I'm sharing this with you guys because here we are at the end of October, and I know some of you guys said, I got goals for the end of 2017. But before you get to December, go ahead and make the updates and the upgrades to your brand so you can make more money. Some of you guys are saying, I don't even know what kind of updates to make. Well, you can book me for a one-on-one consult. You can go to KeenyaKelly.com/consulting and you can book me for a one-on-one. I do 30-minute discovery sessions and then 60-minute strategy sessions. Or my company, we actually design brands, logos, websites, graphics, and we have all of our holiday specials that are out right now that I'll post at the end of this video in the comments. All right. And so listen, don't let your brand cost you money. I promise you, you'll make more money when you upgrade your brand. I promise you, you'll make way more money when you upgrade your brand because people will see it as more valuable, right? That's like, I'll give you one last example and then I'll go. Starbucks coffee. The cup, all it is a white cup. All Starbucks is typically is a white cup and it has a logo on the cup. If you take the logo off the cup, guess what it is? It's just a white cup. But that logo says this coffee is different. That little green stir says this coffee is different. But more than likely, if you had the ingredients to Starbucks, you could make that same cup of coffee in your house for 50 cents. Right? If you had all the ingredients, and you can make way more cups of coffee through Starbucks to have the ingredients than by going to Starbucks. But guess what happened? They got a white cup and they upgraded it with the Starbucks logo and started advertising and said, our coffee is worth $5 a cup. And you're like, okay, I will buy it multiple times a day. Thank you, Starbucks. Right? Same thing goes for you. You want to upgrade your stuff and say, thank you, Starbucks, to your business and to your brand. Okay? Now, does anybody have any questions before we go? I got plenty to do today. I need to go to Apple and get this phone checked out because the new iOS 11.3 got everything just all going interesting places in my phone. I don't even know what's going on up in this area with this phone, right? But I love Apple and I love iOS and I love everything about social media, so no complaints. But I will go and get this joker fixed. That's what I will do. Okay? Any questions before we go? Again, you guys, I would love to have you guys work with me. You can book a 15-minute consult, which allows me to see what you need, and we can see how to work together, or a 30-minute discovery session, or what you can do is you can book a 60-minute strategy session where I literally will go through your business, through your brand, and help you come up with all types of stuff. Okay, so with that, you guys, I love you guys. Don't forget that if you brand it, they will come. If you brand it, they will come. So God bless you guys. Have a fantastic Saturday, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.